You're watching Luntha Television and it's time for news. My name is Helbert Katanda. First, a look at our top stories. Pope Francis urges Christians to pray for freedom of religion in China. Malawi Police Service allegedly withdraws security of anti-Attorney General protesters as the video enters third day. World Bank's efforts in supporting TB fight excites Lilongwe District Health Office. And in news from elsewhere, Democratic Republic of Congo files a new complaint to International Criminal Court against Rwanda's Defense Force. These and more other stories to stay tuned in. Leader of the Catholic Church, Pope Francis, has recorded the church's celebration of the World Day of Prayer for China, which coincides with the Feast of Our Lady, Help of Christians and Venerated, and invoked in the Shrine of Our Lady in Shanghai. The Pope was speaking on Wednesday on the 24th of May 2023 during the general audience at St. Peter's Square. The Pope said he wanted to use that occasion to remember and express his closeness to Catholics in China. We have the details.
In 2007, Pope Benedict XVI proclaimed May 24th the Feast of Our Lady, Help of Christians, to be a world day of prayer for the Church in China, which venerates the Blessed Virgin Mary under that title as the country's patroness. Benedict XVI asked Catholics to pray this prayer on the occasion of the World Day of Prayer for China. Pope Francis has demonstrated particular care for the faithful in China since the beginning of his pontificate. Each year on the Day of Prayer, the Pope has never failed to express his closeness and affection to all Chinese Catholics. A key moment in diplomatic relations between the Holy See and the People's Republic of China took place on 22nd September 2018 with the signing of the Provisional Agreement. Cardinal Secretary of State Pietro Parolin described the accord as both a point of arrival on a long road and, above all, a starting point for a new phase of greater collaboration for the good of the Chinese Catholic community and for the harmony of the whole society.
The Center for Democracy and Economic Development Initiatives on Wednesday afternoon went to town on the Inspector General of Malawi Police, Marine Yolam, saying he owes Malawians an explanation to why her officers withdrew security of the 750 million protesters. The group is leading Malawians into videos at the Attorney General's office in Lilongwe, demanding a proof that the 750 million kwacha Affordable Input Program Fund, which was sent to a United Kingdom-based meat company, has been refunded to government's account number 1. The money was sent by the officials at the Smallholder Farmers Fertilizer Roving Fund of Malawi. Charida Jilanga reports.
SIDED is holding a vigil to force Attorney General Thabo Chakaka to produce evidence on the recovery of 750 million kwacha meant for procuring affordable inputs program, AIP fertilizer, through a United Kingdom poacher Pakat Foods Limited. Namiwa says the vigil has been peaceful and no incident has been recorded since it started on Monday, May 22nd, 2023. He said the moment they announced and started the vigils, there was an additional security coming on top of the Malawi Police Service officers that provide security on a normal working day at the entrance of the Capitol Hill. Namiwa said something strange happened as the security unceremoniously withdrew from the press without any explanation. He then said they got an intelligence report that well-known MCP sympathizers are launching an attack and closing in to the press. And later saw another strange thing where a truck driven by a Malawi Congress Party sympathizer, Simon Kendo, was coming out of the premises. But we are surprised because they never saw him entering the premises.
To talk to a few authorities, but I'm failing to get hold of the Inspector General of Police. She owes Malawians an explanation why they have decided to withdraw the security, and after withdrawing the security, there are a number of questionable instances taking place. Security, you are aware that the Police Act is there to provide safety and security to lives of Malawians, including us that are exercising our constitutional right to hold peaceful vigils.
Responding to this, Public Relations Officer for the Malawi Police Service, Peter Kalaya, said as a service, they have been providing security to the people who are doing their vigil at the Capitol Hill. Only that at a certain time during the day, the police officers are left to the press because they were assigned to other duties.
We have been providing security to the people who are doing their vigils at Capitol Hill, and we will continue to do this until such a time when they will be done with their vigil. Today, at around 9:10, one vehicle that was there was taken and given other tasks within the town, and we were told, we have reported that some people were saying about removed security.
Namiwa further said that as unsuspecting citizens, they are not surprised and will continue with their normal business. Only that the Inspector General of Malawi Police Service owes Malawians an explanation on the withdrawal of security from the vigil, because the Police Act is there to provide safety and security to lives of Malawians, including them that are exercising their constitutional right to hold peaceful vigils. The demonstrators carried placards bearing various messages, including "Let Presidential Immunity Fall," "End Corruption Now," "Is Thabo Chakakanyilenda a Liar?" among others. Charity Chilanga, Luntha Television, Lilongwe.
The Ministry of Health has urged the citizenry to continue adhering to all COVID-19 preventive measures, including getting vaccinated, few months after World Health Organization declared that the spread of COVID-19 is no longer a global public health emergency. Acting Deputy Director for Preventive Health Services, responsible for healthy education services in the Ministry of Health, Mavuto Tomasi, has told us that the cases are still being spread in the country. Tomasi said Malawians should not relax. Bridget Monoka compiled a report read in our studios by Jacqueline Saidi.
Nearly 800 million people have died from the novel coronavirus worldwide since the World Health Organization first declared it a global pandemic. But on 5th May 2023, it was announced that after 3 years, coronavirus no longer constitutes a global health emergency. Despite this, there are fears that Malawi may continue registering cases of the virus. Acting Deputy Director for Preventive Health Services responsible for health education services in the Ministry of Health, Mavuto Thomas, says people in the country should continue getting COVID-19 vaccine as cases of the virus may continue. He said last week's weekly COVID-19 update showed that from 8th to 14th May, the country had registered 2 new cases.
They have issued a communication in terms of that the COVID-19 is no longer a public health concern or of international concern. But as a country, I think we still need to be focusing in terms of having issues to do with the preparedness as well for future pandemics, as well as ensuring that our communities are still getting the COVID-19 vaccine to reach the herd immunity. The ministry is working to release a communication on the same. There's a team that the Secretary of Health has put aside to work on terms of the recommendations moving on from here.
Journalists Association Against AIDS Program Manager Dengani Miti has urged journalists to continue informing the masses about the dangers of COVID-19 as it is still a threat to Malawians.
I think we have seen a lot of progress. We have seen a lot of stories which have been coming out on the radio as well as online. So, of course, maybe we cannot determine at this point in time to say how the quality of reporting has improved, but in terms of the content itself for the stories we have seen, I think there's a very huge improvement. And also the other issue which I wanted to point out was that there's very good level of commitment amongst the journalists who have been working with this program. It's our aim that we sustain this crop of journalists who are working within the Media Science Cafe program, so that we are maintaining the issue of consistency, so that we are together throughout until we go towards the end of the program.
Overview of COVID-19 cases in Malawi as of 14th May 2023. Malawi registered a total of 88,640 confirmed COVID-19 cases, including 2,686 deaths. 2 new cases were reported from 8th to 14th May 2023.
Police have confirmed keeping in custody a social and rights commentator, Agabe Kombe, for defilement allegations. Kombe had allegedly impregnated the girl in January this year, but police knew about the matter when it was reported on the 2nd of May 2023, according to Lilongwe Police spokesperson Hastings Chigaro. Kombe, known for organizing Aunt Martha Chizuma demonstrations, was arrested on Monday. Robert Edward reports.
The Lilongwe Police preliminary investigations in the matter has so far revealed that parents to the alleged defiled child were trying to handle the matter at the community level with the accused since January, when they noticed that their child is pregnant, before reporting the matter to police. Agabe Kombe, who has been on record as a concerned citizens, social, governance and rights activist, was arrested and is said to appear before the court soon to answer a defilement case that led to getting the 16-year-old pregnant.
What I can confirm is that the Lilongwe Police were keeping in custody Agabe Kombe of village Kombe, Chakaza in Doha, on suspicion on allegation that he was having sexual intercourse with a child. In fact, this child is a 16-year-old girl, a secondary school girl. In fact, it is said that they were in a secret love affair since 2022. And just in January this year is when the girl was found to be pregnant.
One of the child rights commentator and publicist, Memory Chisenga, is hoping for expeditious prosecution of Kombe, saying it is unfortunate to have a person who was supposed to protect the children defiling them. There has been loud advocacy from both government and civil society organizations against the malpractice, with others condemning and criminalizing parents and guardians' tendency of hiding the crime. In Malawi, maximum sentence for defilement is life imprisonment. For Luntha, this is Robert Edward.
You're watching news right here on Luntha Television and on our various social media platforms. We'll be back shortly after the break.
personal growth to business solutions, there is no limit to what you can imagine. It's time to reimagine banking. Centenary Bank, our bank.
Welcome back. Now let's have a look at our top stories once more before we proceed.
Pope Francis urges Christians to pray for freedom of religion in China. Malawi Police Service allegedly withdraws security of anti-Attorney General protesters as the video enters third day. World Bank's efforts in supporting TB fight excites Lilongwe District Health Office. And in news from elsewhere, Democratic Republic of Congo files a new complaint to International Criminal Court against Rwanda's Defense Force.
Lilongwe District Health Office has applauded the World Bank for its tireless commitment and supporting the fight against tuberculosis in the country and Lilongwe District in particular. Deputy Tuberculosis Coordinator at Lilongwe DHO, Tom Chigeda, says the bank has greatly supported the office through capacity building, resources and guidance. He was speaking on Tuesday during the interface meeting with members of the media under the National Tuberculosis and Leprosy Elimination Program. Bernard Mwanza reports.
According to Chigeda, World Bank has helped in the provision of equipment such as gene expert machine for case detection, microscope, and computers for data capturing, trainings for the district TB officials, and supervisions, among others. He said this has improved the identification of cases as the office is now able to detect more cases within a short period of time compared to the past. The Deputy District TB Coordinator further indicated that additionally, the support has reached volunteers working in the sputum collection points who are directly reaching out to presumptives and support those who are TB positive.
So we have seen a change, maybe a rise in figures comparing to the time when these volunteers were not going to get the cases, to check for the cases. So of course this is active case finding. Before active case finding, we are doing passive case finding. That means the patients were coming to the hospital and maybe to be diagnosed for TB. But this time we're going active because our volunteers will go into the communities and asking them the cardinal signs for TB. And if they're presumptives, then they're referred to the hospital to submit the specimen.
One of the 183 sputum collection points that are available in Lilongwe is Magomelo, located at Group Village Head Pata and Atna Tenje in Lilongwe. Established around 2017, the group advocates for TB testing among villagers, the awareness campaigns that normally take place through different gatherings. Chairperson of the group, Zeria Andrea, told us that currently most villagers are finding it important to get tested for tuberculosis, and others are adhering to the treatment when found positive, which she said is an indication that the fight is on good course. During the first quarter of 2023, the Lilongwe TB office is reported to have conducted 839 tests where only 39 people were positive. Lilongwe is one of the 9 districts that are being supported by World Bank in the fight against tuberculosis. It is further reported that so far the treatment success rate has surpassed the target of 90%. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, I am Bernard Mwanza.
The Tobacco Commission has disclosed that the country has made about $85 million, which is almost 85 billion kwacha, in the 60th week of the ongoing tobacco marketing season. According to the Commission's spokesperson, Teleforas Chibunembe, the country has sold about 39 million kilograms of tobacco by Friday last week. He has since expressed satisfaction with what he describes as a good performance in tobacco sales. Tandiwan Zumara reports.
According to Shigunembe, the Commission is excited with the progress of the tobacco market as by Friday 19th May, 39 million kilograms valued at $85 million had been sold in comparison to week 6 in 2022, where growers had sold a total of 5 million kilograms valued at $11 million. He also held farmers for producing high-quality tobacco as witnessed by a low rejection rate, which stands at less than 1%.
As Tobacco Commission, we are impressed with the performance of the market this far because of the weekly upward movements in average prices this year and the low rejection rate, which stands at less than 1%. The rising average prices and low rejection rate signify good presentation of tobacco by farmers. And we encourage all farmers to continue presenting their crop as advised by extension workers.
At the opening of this year's selling season at Kanengo last month, some tobacco growers expressed a deep concern on how sales started citing low prices despite investing much in the production. However, according to the spokesperson for the Tobacco Commission, Teleforas Shigunembe, the average prices continue to rise every week, as was $2.19, up by 4 cents from week 5. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Tandiwe Mzumara.
And now in sports, officials at Mighty Wanderers Football Club say the club will not be participating in any international tournament this season as it is busy rebuilding its squad. This is according to a press statement released on Tuesday, the 23rd of May, signed by the club's board secretary council, Chance Gondwe, and the club's acting CEO, Roosevelt Mbinganjira. The statement indicates that the club has arrived at the decision considering that a rebuilding process of the squad has just started and they will join continental competition when they are satisfied with the squad. In international news, the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo has paid the highest court of countries to investigate Rwanda's defense force. The defense force is said to have been fueling troops of the M23 to attack the country. We have the details.
The statement added that the referral's goal would be to investigate and prosecute any person involved in human rights violations between 2022 and 2023. The Tutsi-led M23 labor group launched a new offensive in eastern DRC in March 2022, seizing towns and villages in the area that borders Uganda, and the fighting forced more than 1 million people to flee. Kinshasa is accused enabling Rwanda of backing the M23, but Kigali continues to deny any involvement. In 2022, a United Nations experts report found direct intervention by Rwandan forces inside DR Congo. The European Union has also urged Rwanda to stop supporting the M23 and urged Kinshasa to take all measures necessary to protect the civilian population in its territory. To date, the ICC has convicted 3 different Congolese militia leaders, one of war crimes and the other of war crimes and crimes against humanity, for their roles in atrocities committed in the eastern DRC. ICC prosecutor Karim Khan is expected to visit Kinshasa and Congolese provinces affected by rebel groups from May 28th to May 31st.
That's the news for now, but before we go, a reminder of our top stories.
Pope Francis urges Christians to pray for freedom of religion in China. Malawi Police Service allegedly withdraws security of Attorney General protesters as the vigil enters third day. World Bank's efforts in supporting TB fight excites Lilongwe District Health Office. And in news from elsewhere, Democratic Republic of Congo files a new complaint to International Criminal Court against Rwanda's defense force.
My name is Helbert Katanda. Thanks for watching, and it's goodbye for now.